All right, everybody. Good Friday evening. 7:37 is the time right now. We're looking from our tower cam across downtown Kansas City, and I'm tracking some storms. I'm going to let this sit here for just a second. We're waiting for a lot of people. Whoever wants to join, give them a second to join in. And I see the numbers going up, so we're just going to watch that for a moment. But we do have rain in the area that's firing up, kind of right on schedule for us, as we've been watching today for several. Since the beginning of the week, we've had a first warn on this. And a first warn doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get anything. A first warn means this is a day that stands out where in our area, in our neighborhood, we could have some weather that impacts your Friday evening. So we've had our eyeballs on Friday all week long, and now it's here, and the storms are getting going for us. So I just want to keep you out ahead of the storms, show you what we see, bring you the update, and how it looks not only for tonight, but for the rest of this weekend. So I'm here to help. I'm here to just show you what we see. If you've got questions, I've got Facebook open, and you can write your comments there. I won't see them while I'm going through the forecast, but I'll see them at the end, and I'll try to answer whatever questions that I don't answer as I go through the forecast. So if you stick with us, you'll probably get your answer. But if you got anything I don't hit, shoot me over there. All right. Is Belton going to see bad storms? You might have a strong storm, a thunderstorm, but we're not worried about big severe weather tonight, though there is a severe risk. It's just low. It's a level 1 out of 5. Hail and some gusty winds and a spot or two is really about what we'd be looking at. So you're worried about the winds? Well, we'll have some winds at times, and I'll tell you about that too, but I don't think it's anything to worry about, buddy. So let's get to it. All right, here's what we see for tonight. I see Independence. Everybody, I'll go through the forecast here, and you watch the maps. Try to pick out your area. I won't be able to anytime whenever I do these updates, people want to know about their exact city, and it's just so tough. And it's weather. It's we're talking about in our general Kansas City metro. So I can show you what's going on in Independence right now and what could happen over the next few hours. But just try in your spot to know, as we go through the maps, where you are and kind of how that looks for you, just because of time. And honestly, once you get out past a couple hours, then I can't, the computer forecast and no meteorologist could accurately give you a big difference between rain chances in, let's say Waldo and North KC. I mean, it's too short. So anyway, that's what we'll be watching for. All right, here we go. So tonight we've got rain and storms. That's going to go well into the night, probably up to about 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, most of us in Kansas City are going to get rain. Not everybody's guaranteed to, and if you're outside of Kansas City, then there's going to be some spots that don't get that much or anything at all. So for the metro, though, most of us are probably going to get some rain here. A few storms could be strong. So I would look at it like this. In Kansas City, most of us will get rain. Some of us will get some thunderstorms, and a few of us could get a strong thunderstorm or two. Okay, so there it is. Radar is filling in as we speak. Let's go on a little tour here. All right, so obviously north and west. This is our approaching weather system coming in out of the west. So around Bonner Springs, so far everything's kind of been targeting north, and this is going to be a slow slog as these showers and storms start to slide their way south. So around Lawrence, we've got I think it's a big pep rally going on there tonight. Got a little rain there. Here's just past Tonganoxie, up around Baser. Got a good downpour. See how these are it's not going to rain constantly. If you get caught in some rain or a thunderstorm, it's going to be in and out, all right, off and on. That'll be the story for tonight. This isn't necessarily a big, solid, completely congealed line of rain. It's got a lot of cracks in it. There's a little thunderstorm up there by the airport. So by Parkville, Platte City, Farrell View. There's Plattsburgh. St. Joe's kind of been a hot spot. They've been in and out of some rain over the past couple hours. And then up here into Pattonsburg and Stanberry. There's Spickard. Got some thunderstorms there. Nothing too rowdy. No severe weather with any of that yet. All right, now let's get back down here to the metro. And so we're just looking at Independence. Independence, you're just fine right now. Nothing immediate heading your way. But what we'll see is this line is going to work its way from northwest to southeast. I'll show it to you here. All right, so there it is. Our computer forecast kind of picks up on that. And I'll take us into the next several hours. There's 8 and 9. And see how it slowly works its way deeper to the east in Kansas City and some of the surrounding areas. So there's 11. So let me just go back through this. Try to, keep your eye on your area. You can see how it starts northwest and then slowly moves its way southeast. So if you're over by Lee's Summit, it might be, we'll say 10 o'clock or so, 10 o'clock before you start to see anything. And you could get some little bubble ups out ahead of the, kind of the main channel of rain. But there it is, 9, 10, 11. There's midnight, and now it's starting to work its way further to the east. There's midnight, 1 o'clock. So if you're on the east side of KC, it might be more of a 11 to 1 or 2 in the morning kind of thing. There's 1. Still got some rain and storms around. You get the idea. There's a pretty good bet that you see something at some point tonight. And there's 3. And by 3 in Kansas City, it's starting to, that's probably the last gasp of it. And there's some storms in there. And with that, there is a low risk for, I'm talking like a 5% chance. So it's not, don't be worried about, we need to stay up all night because storms are going to be really bad. No. I don't want you thinking that. I want you to just understand that we could achieve a severe thunderstorm warning or 2 in a couple of spots, from some hail up to about the size of an inch, or some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, or both. But I think that would be in very isolated areas. Maybe a couple of warnings would be possible. I would be surprised, though it's always, the weather, and it can surprise you. I'd be surprised if we had more than a few warnings out of this setup. It just isn't overly potent. And I'd say the most likely scenario is that we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings. But the chance is on the table. It is a possibility. It's not a likelihood. It's a possibility that we have a storm or 2, a few storms that could produce some severe level winds or severe level hail. So that's something else that we'll be just keeping tabs on. So here's the planner. Temperatures in the 70s. Rain chance goes up as you go deeper into the night. So once you're at like 10 and 11 o'clock, you're up to, in Kansas City, about a 70% rain chance. Okay, so I'll do more on tonight here in just a second. But now looking ahead a little bit farther into the weekend, here's the 3 main things. We've got rain and storms tonight up till about 3 a.m. in Kansas City. Then Saturday has changed. There's some new stuff in there. First off, the morning is now dry. What has happened is the rain that could have spilled over from Friday night into Saturday morning is now ending before we get to Saturday morning. So we're dry. So that means for the marathon, things look much better. What we have to watch on Saturday, and why we still have a first warn, is that there is a recharge of rain that's trying to come in later on in the afternoon and evening. And it doesn't look like storms. It just looks like rain. And with that comes a big punch of high winds. So if you're going out, Saturday afternoon, late day, Saturday evening, Saturday night, you've got rain on the table, you've got high winds. It just doesn't look great. It's kind of nasty to be out in. So not severe, but something that you probably want to know, and it might affect how you go about all of that. Then Sunday's much cooler. We're fall. It's finally here. It's going to be, Sunday's really nice day. So let's go back through here. We'll see if anything's new on the radar for those that have just tuned in. And then we'll go through our, what happened there? All right, I think I'm back. All right, so we'll just see if there's anything new here for those that are just tuning in. Northwest side of KC, yep, up there by, now it's going to be back-to-back by the airport. Got one going across there now, and then another one moving in out of Baser. So far, most of the metro's good and dry. It's going to take a little time probably for that line to drift on through, and then up 35 essentially is where it's at now. So let's go deeper into the forecast. So here's tonight. That forecast radar, there's 10 and 11 rounds of some showers and some thunderstorms off and on. Now notice if you're farther southeast or if you're northwest. If you're northwest of Maryville, northwest of St. Joe up by Maryville, you don't get it's kind of a line from St. Joe to Harrisonville. If you're on either side of that, then you don't get a whole lot out of this one. And there we are by Saturday morning. All right, so there's 7 a.m. So it's done. I mean, it's done probably by 4. So marathon runners, you look good. All right, 63 In the morning, maybe a sprinkle with some clouds that are around, but that'd be it. Then mid to upper 60s, we're at 70 by 11. All that's fine, but here's what to know about Saturday. 77's the high. We're going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies, but your evening, I'm talking by 4 o'clock, we've got the chance for some light rain. And then by about 5 or 6, wind gusts may crank up to like 40 miles an hour. And they stay windy through the rest of the evening. And it's going to be cooling quickly. So how do you dress for that? You've got high winds and some rain. You can't take the umbrella. And temperature's going down, and it's windy, so you're going to be chilly. Just all those things kind of combo them all up. So let's take a look at that. Here's Saturday morning. You're good. Look good. Most of the day is good. Then here we go. Round number 2 trying to sweep in. There's 4, 5, 6, 7. I think by 8 it's probably done in Kansas City. Now you get a little bit more rain to the southeast. Warrensburg, Sedalia. That's where the heaviest part of that's going to be. So if you're northwest, like Maryville, you guys just don't get much, period. And how much could we get out of all of this combined? There's a big range. So I think a 1/4 inch is a pretty safe bet around Kansas City. You can see that's that main channel tonight. This is through Saturday morning, but there's that second round that comes in Saturday evening. And I don't think that one's going to do much as far as like rain totals, maybe a 1/10 or 2. Maybe a 1/10, probably not 2 for Kansas City. But you might get a 1/4 or a 1/2 inch south and east for like Warrensburg and Sedalia. Then here comes that wind. All right, this is 5 p.m. on Saturday. Look at St. Joe and Atchison. Look west of the metro. You see the bright colors coming in. That's our front. You're going to know the minute this front comes through because it's going to be rowdy with that wind cranking up. There you go. 36 mile an hour gusts, 38. Oh, like 40 mile an hour wind gusts by 9 o'clock. And pretty much across the area. So turning pretty windy after about 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. But that is what pulls in the cooler air finally and drops our temperatures back that we're going to feel on Sunday. So it's a chilly change. We're at 45 Sunday morning. 45, we're in the 40s. And then 66 if you can't see it because my face is in the way on Sunday afternoon. Mid-40s to mid-60s. Let's see what we have right now. We're at 73 in KC. We're still almost 80 degrees in Olathe and Paola and Harrisonville and Richmond. It's warm. Tonight's going to be the last of like the mild nights in the 60s. 61 is what we'll do by about sunrise tomorrow in Kansas City. Some of us in the 50s to the north. All right, there's 7-day. And Sunday, let's see if we can get you the Chiefs game. It's good. It's good. All right. So tailgaters, you might have 40s if you're up early enough. Otherwise, it's going to be 50s. Bright blue skies, like crystal clear blue skies through the day. But 50s for tailgating, probably about 59 at kickoff, and then mid-60s by halftime and by the fourth quarter. That's some good October football weather. And this is some really nice weather this week. Monday warms up, a little bit breezy. We're at 76. And then another front comes through, takes Tuesday back down to 63. Tuesday night to 41. Check this out. So long 60s. Nights are going to be in the 50s and 40s. That 41 on Wednesday morning would be our coolest morning in like 5.5 months. So since all the way back in May. So that one will have a little bite to it. Some of us will be in the 30s most likely Wednesday morning. And then let's see, we get you the full 7-day. 66 on Thursday. Right now, Thursday is the only chance for rain that I've got. So we'll watch for some showers. That looks like Thursday. It might all be Thursday night. We'll see. Thursday evening, Thursday night. And then Friday, back into the upper 60s. So, hey, finally looks like October. All right, let's see what questions we have. Got a wedding to do tomorrow evening in Pleasant Hill. Ryan, what you've got to watch tomorrow, Ryan, is going to be that wind. Is going to be your biggest issue. You might have some rain, but the rain doesn't look like it's going to be a big issue. I think generally pretty light, and it's not a guarantee that we get rain in Kansas City or Independence or Pleasant Hill. I'll show you that wind though. That wind's coming. Pretty much every computer forecast that we've got, whenever you have a big front come through like that out of the north, they tend to do that. So by 5, 6, there's 6 o'clock. And this is one of our better computer forecasts. What I mean is like for short-term forecasting, this one updates every hour. It's really high resolution. It's great for detail in the short term. And whenever it's pumping out, 36 mile an hour wind gusts at 6 p.m., I'm not saying it can't be wrong, but usually this one's pretty spot on. So just whatever that looks like, be preparing for a gusty evening and maybe some rain. Golf tournament tomorrow in St. Joe. Is it going to be done by tomorrow? So Philip, yeah, your morning looks good. Your early afternoon looks good. It's just going to be by 4 o'clock, you could have some light rain, and by 5 or 6, there comes the wind. Does Kansas City get a big thunderstorm tonight? We'll have some thunderstorms around, it looks like. Yep. And after the cold front moves through, no more storms tonight. Cold front doesn't move through until Saturday evening. That's where the winds come in. So this is all out ahead of the cold front. This is all tied to the upper level storm system that's coming through. So that won't bring us a big cool down for Saturday yet, but we'll have it by Sunday. All right. So there's the questions that I see. One more time before I cut free. Let's see if there's anything on radar that we want to check out. All right, here we go. All right, starting to nose in more on the west side of the 435 loop. Here comes that second one we were talking about. It was a 1-2 for the airport. So up there by Platte City and Farrellview. Parkville, getting into some of that. And then here's one coming in out of Bonner Springs. So that's going to be looking toward some of the west side of the Kansas City Metro. And then eventually the north side of the Kansas City Metro. So you get the idea of the progression here. So this has been, 20 minutes that we've been on, and we've been watching that slow drift off to the southeast. So run that forward a couple hours, and you got a pretty good idea that they're probably going to be, within the heart of the Metro and affecting a lot of us in Kansas City. And then if you're outside of Kansas City, it's southwest to northeast, kind of up there right along 35. Essentially from St. Joe, just south of Maryville, to Warrensburg-ish, or even Higginsville, is going to be the main channel for rain with this one. So if anything goes severe, I'll pop in. I'll let you know. Otherwise, take care. Have a great night. We're going to have updates coming up at 10 o'clock. And if anything, again, necessary for me to come back, I'll do that for you. So hope you have a great evening. Hope that this helps with your planning as you go about tonight and the rest of your weekend. That's why we're here. That's the goal. So take care. We'll see you at 10 o'clock.